Hello, my name is Destiny Franco, and I will be doing my presentation on school safety. Are schools safer now than they were during the tragic Columbine school shooting? What is the Columbine shooting? The Columbine shooting took place on April 20th, 1999, where both Eric and Dylan murdered 15 people in their school. One of those people including a teacher. This tragic event prompted school officials to implement policies and programs to ensure school safety. Regardless of these drills, the Columbine shootings were neither the first nor the last violent incident on school grounds, but they were the most important in shaping a cultural narrative about school, youth, and popular culture. When researching school shootings, I found three big major debates. The first one being gun control. Since the Columbine shooting, there have been 389 school shootings. It's argued that these shootings could have been avoided had proper gun safety protocols been set in place. The debate surrounding this topic is that one side believes guns serve to protect while the other believes they serve to cause harm. Gun rights activists position guns as passive entities, the power of which resides in the user's hands. Conversely, gun control activists position guns as agents with potential to make any circumstance more violent, even accidentally. How to properly raise our kids was the second debate that I found. One of the biggest debates I found since the Columbine shooting is that there has to be some sort of parental liability. The debate is that parents should be teaching their children from right and wrong. And what if they did and their children still took these atrocious measures? Then who are we to blame? In this age, children commit violent crimes. It seems imperative to find someone or something to blame, for example, video games, movies, or parents. The third debate that I found are, do school safety drills really work? Generally speaking, there's no evidence that they do help. These measures are implemented in preparation for a potential school shooting event. In fact, it is argued that these procedures increase fear on students. The argument is that many of these procedures don't actually do anything because they don't take into account factors such as anxiety, being left out of the class when a shooting is happening, or teachers being qualified to protect students. On the side is an image of an active shooter response guide with 3 steps requiring run, hide, or fight. Throughout school shootings, there are many viewpoints, but I found 2 viewpoints. The first one is that people agree that schools are safer after the Columbine shooting. They believe this because there are newer protocols set in place for school safety, such as school drills. There are more mental health resources provided to students, such as therapists. There are more laws for gun control on youth obtaining guns. The second viewpoint that I found is that schools are not safer after the Columbine shooting. I found that for the second viewpoint, there was more evidence pointing towards this one rather than schools being safer. Since Columbine, more than 338,000 students in the U.S. have experienced gun violence at school. In a comprehensive school shooting study, the Secret Service and Department of Education found that 93% of school shooters plan the attack in advance. When people see the signs and get help, we can end school shootings. In 4 out of 5 school shootings, at least one other person had knowledge of the attacker's plan but failed to report it. These numbers are too high for us to ignore, and yet we do. Why? Because there aren't proper resources set in place for students to relive that fear factor of speaking up when you see something off. Now for my personal perspective on the situation. After having researched this topic thoroughly, I can say that schools are not safer, but they can be, and many school districts are willing to make them safer. The opportunity to add school resources for mental health can benefit those who struggle with mental illness, potentially helping prevent school shootings. However, many schools don't have these resources due to funding. After Columbine, there have been a significant amount of school shootings. Over 20 years have passed, and school policies are still being added to transform the environment and well-being of students. Even though there are more gun laws, guns are still accessible to the youth, whether that is through a parent or another alternative way. Without lawful change, school shootings will always happen regardless of the precautions schools take to prevent them. As an educator, I fear that one day I will have to protect my students from atrocious measures. I shouldn't have to be instilled with fear about something that can be prevented. That's it for my presentation. Thank you.